right, Adam. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to interview with us.
Sure.
How did the project come about for you?
Well, this was my third book for DK, I think. I had just done the Rebels visual guide that came out in July of last year. And so, the DK got in touch with me and asked me if I wanted to do it. And I was really excited. It's definitely the biggest book that I've worked on.
How was it decided to do the book in chronological visual order?
That was something that DK and Lucasfilm had come up with. So they had decided on that actually before I came on board. So I think they just wanted to do something new, a new way of presenting the information.
It's an interesting way of doing it, which makes sense if you don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
It's like, what movie did I see then? Oh, there it is. So what was the objective with the book, from what they told you, what they were trying to do with it?
I guess the book is kind of like a landmark. It's a kind of a foundation before the new movies come up, to kind of to bring both new fans up to speed so they can know what happened in the 6 movies and the 2 animated TV shows, but also to kind of, I think, to lay a foundation for old fans with what the canon is that we're starting with now in this new era with Disney.
What parts did you contribute in the book?
I worked on the sections for Star Wars Rebels, because after the visual guide, I was the logical guy for that. And I did a lot for A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back, and a little bit of information kind of bled over into Return of the Jedi or Episode 3, but my concentration was Rebels in the first 2 movies.
Do you know who added the bit about Ben Quaderneros becoming a rival to Sebulba? Was it you?
No, it wasn't me. I'm not sure which of the other authors did it.
I'm bound to find that one.
Oh, yeah.
So since you did A New Hope, were you the one that added the name of the Tusken Raider who attacked Luke? Which is like...
No, that one wasn't me.
You probably didn't do the prequel part, so you probably weren't responsible for Kitster making it into the book either.
No, that wasn't me either.
Was there any noteworthy material that didn't make it in because of space limitations?
Not that I'm aware of, because I think we pretty much wrote it 2 size. They gave us the layout and the spreads, and we kind of wrote to fill that out. So that was kind of handy. At least for me, there wasn't really much that was cut out on the editing floor.
Did you have any input in the pictures that were used?
Yeah, I think we all 3 are all. How many of us are there? There's 4 of us. All 4 of us. I think we all made a picture list of our choices. We kind of gave a wish list for the book, and then it was kind of up to the DK team of where to go from there.
What was one of the most fun things you found in your research?
Fun things. Well, I really enjoyed writing about the planets and locations. Like I wrote about Endor and Yavin and Bespin, and so I'm into biology. I've got a biology degree, so I really like the animals and the wildlife side of things.
Have you read Terrell Whitlatch's?
Yeah. That's become one of my most important reference books for my research.
And last but not least, is there any upcoming or recent projects you'd like to mention?
Yeah, besides the Rebels Visual Guide last summer, my first book was What Makes a Monster, and that's still going strong, is very popular. And upcoming that I can talk about, I have Lego Star Wars Into Battle, which is another reader for young readers. It is beautifully hardbound. That's coming out, I think, in July. And then I'm one of several authors on Star Wars, Absolutely Everything You Need to Know. And that's part of the, I think it's called The Journey to the Force Awakens.
Now, how's that going to differ from this one, the visual? Ultimate Star Wars?
Right.
Is it less visual, or is it a different time frame?
I don't remember what they have said about the book, so I don't know what they can say. Okay. What I can say, there is.
Will it be a different format?
Yeah, it is. It is a different format. I would say it's a very good supplement to the Ultimate Star Wars.
Will it work well with both?
It will work very well with both because they both do very different things. And if you have both together, it would be a really awesome set. And I'm not just saying that to sell books. It's just it does have a completely different spin to it. And I don't think there will be very much duplicated information at all. I think it will pretty much all be different information.
All right, Adam, I want to thank you for taking time.
You're very welcome.
All right, Tricia, I want to thank you for doing this interview with us. How did the project come about for you?
For me, I had done some sample writing for DK, and you always have to follow up on projects and opportunities, so I just sent an email in and said, hey, just wanted to remind you guys I was out there, and I think it was a couple of days later, said, do you want to work on this project? So I was like, yeah, awesome, let's do it.
How was it decided to do the book in chronological visual order for each section?
Actually, that was all way before the authors got involved.
So that was a direction from DK? Or above Story Group?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they worked together, but by the time we were writing, it had already been essentially mapped out, laid out how it was coming. I actually think it makes sense when if you translate it, it'll come up in a different language, so it's sort of, to me, made sense.
What was your objective with the book?
Being a fan who covers books for a long time and having used those resources, I felt like I wanted to be true to all the fans that I know out there, the things that they want to get out of books, and work my hardest and bring the passion that I hope I see out of other authors for their writing, and to really give them a nice, clean, condensed version that they can use going forward as resources, because I've always used the books as resources.
What parts did you contribute to the book?
I did a lot of the Clone Wars, which, the movies you have memorized and know to heart, so I had to go back and watch a lot of the Clone Wars, because sometimes you might have seen them a couple times over the years to review, maybe 2 or 3 times, but then, especially if you're doing a character and you need to get what that happened to them in the Clone Wars, like a character like Asajj Ventress, then you need to go back and pay attention to what their story is. So you have to go back and watch episodes.
Imagine that made it easier to remember this is canon and this isn't.
Yeah, it did, because then you were really just firing away and looking at it for yourself and not looking to anyone else.
Do you happen to know who added the part about Ben Quadraneros becoming Sebulba's rival?
No, I
gotta be right, or
sometimes it's hard to remember which parts you actually did, but I don't believe Ben was in my wheelhouse.
And I guess you didn't do the part with the Tusken Raider got named who attacked Luke. It was like, "Rawr." It's probably right or two. What about Kitster?
I don't think I did Kitster too. I didn't do a lot of the prequel trilogy stuff. I did do Luke and Leia, and which I was excited about, Millennium Falcon and Red 5, and I helped set up the
what locations did you work on?
Oh, some fun ones. Alderaan, I remember. I'm trying to think, was Death Star a location or so now they
I haven't got that far yet.
I felt like I kept writing about Dagobah a lot because it keeps showing up in different contexts. And I'm trying to remember because there were so many ones that were really fun and meaningful. I could look at it and tell you for sure. We had a map essentially of this was your thing, this is what you had to do, and it was very detailed. It laid out, how much.
Now, did you guys work together on working out who was going to do what?
No, that was pretty much assigned to us. That's why I have to say I figured coming in being the most junior writer that I would just be getting some of the minor stuff. So, when you open it and you look at the file and it says, here's your little roadmap, and it says you're doing things like Millennium Falcon and, General Grievous. I remember doing that one. Ahsoka Tano, that was one. There were some happy dances going on, so yeah.
Now, was there any cut material due to space limitations?
Not by the time that we were rating. It was pretty much, they knew how many pages, and I actually had a little work added on that I ended up doing. So.
And what kind of input did you have on the pictures?
If it was a major character with a 2-page spread, we were asked to essentially give them pictures to get them started. References. This is what you would like to see, because you were asked to give like 3 little sub-stories if you notice how the characters are written, and so you might want to give a picture that relates to the story you're doing, so it would mean something. So we were giving. I would turn in, for an A character like that, probably. Some of them I turned in 18, 19 options pictures, like, this will work, and then the designers do a beautiful job of picking, your colors and looks and layout and what's going to fit the size. So then they would come back with, this is what we've picked.
What was the most fun thing you found in your research?
For me, the most fun thing I found going back through the Clone Wars particularly was there were a lot, that show established a lot of great female characters, really made them shine, and that's something that's important to me. And I knew that, but going in there, I just found it more, and even just the way the Clone Wars really tied into the sort of the themes of the saga in general. Just really good job, because you watch it over the years, but then when you have to go back and really look at it, I was really impressed with what they were able to bring out.
Now, what was it like this being your first Star Wars book you worked on?
It was a little daunting. I obviously know that Star Wars readers have high expectations. I've been that way for a long time as a fan too. And just knowing that people would use this book going forward, that new generations would pick this up and use it as a resource. So I was intimidated, but I was really excited.
And is there any other books you'd like to mention that might be upcoming or recent releases?
I have upcoming short stories that are follow-up on my novel Wind that will be coming out. It's called In Between. Those will be coming out on ebook, so that's what I have coming up. And several articles in the Star Wars Insider. I have 4 in this issue, and then I have 2 in the hopper right now.
All right. I want want to thank you for taking the time to do the interview.